Welcome to the Halo Unity Podcast, your source for all the news and events around the Halo communities. Now, here's your host, Jules.
Your host is Jules.
Welcome, everyone, to the newest installment of the Halo Unity Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Jules, and joining me tonight, he's back, and I'm hoping he can keep the F-bombs under double digits this time. Give it up for Grifball Legend.
Fuck you.
There's one.
You know what we need to do? Never mind.
Oh, okay.
We should keep a tally of how many F-bombs it drops.
No, like, especially once we start doing... Never mind. I don't want to give away anything, so...
Okay. Oh, my God. I can't wait. All right. Joining us also from Unity, give it up for Andy.
Hey, what's up?
From TXI and the real forums, Dirtybear.
What's up, everybody?
From the Ancient Warriors, Mauro Fire.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
And last but not least, from Midland Base, give it up for Kegler.
Howdy.
Okay. There was a sheep. Okay. Great start. All right. Well, what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to let these guys, these community leaders here, briefly talk about some of the events they got coming up with their communities. And after that, we're going to talk about all the updates that we saw of Halo 4 at PAX last weekend. So I'm going to give it to you first, Mr. Sheep Boy Kegler.
Alrighty. Well, Midland Base, we've got one big event going that I'll cover first. It's our Midland Base Halo 4 Celebration 4 test, and y'all can see that either on the front news feed, it's still on the front page of the news feed there at Unity, and it's also in the activity section. And basically what this boils down to, just to kind of sum it up, and you can read the details at your leisure later, is we're opening this up, we're recruiting members and leaders, and so the intent here is for people to join our group, become and remain active members of our group, and you know, just kind of check us out, get to know us, play with us, interact with us in our forum. And then when Halo 4 is released, create a Squeaky Sheep of Doom map and a Sucks to be the Leader game type in Halo 4 Forge. Because we're obviously going to need new, of those for Halo 4. And that's pretty much it. Prizes. Everyone who submits a qualifying entry for this will get the Squeaky Sheep of Doom Award for your Halo Unity profile. And since this is going to take a lot of work and effort, we've maxed it out. It's going to give you 500 XP and 5,000 credits at Halo Unity. And that's just for hanging in there long enough and actually putting forward a real submission. Everyone will get that. And then the actual first place winner, we will send them via email a code off of a little card for 1 year of Xbox Live Gold. So you can possibly get a year of Xbox out of this.
Wow.
So, and we've done that before. We've given away several 1 year Xbox Golds, 3 months Xbox Golds, Microsoft Points. That's something that we've been doing ever since we've been around. And that's pretty much our biggest event. Important dates on it is you have to sign up by November 6th. So that's release day of Halo 4 is the last day to sign up. So go to midnight release, get the game, play it. And then just before midnight of release day, so before November 7th, get signed up. That's an important deadline. And the maps are due on December 11th. So you've got a little more than a month after the game is released to get familiar with the Forge and create your entry. And that also affords you time to get to be where you need to be in our group to do your submission. And then we're going to test those on the 13th to the 16th of December in our 4 game nights that weekend. And then we'll have the winner determined before end of the day on December 21st. So somebody will have a year of Xbox Live Gold to go with their Christmas stocking.
Wow, that's very generous.
Yes.
Now, you guys also, you are on here tonight. You left your buddies, so, I mean, you guys were having a game night, so, even want to remind listeners, like, when you guys have your regular game nights so that they can take part in that?
Absolutely. First, one caveat, normally our game nights are members only, members of our group only, unless we open them up for an event. So, I'll answer your first question, then I'll get on to that second part. We run 4 game nights a week. Thursday game night starts at 7 o'clock Central. Our Friday and Saturday game nights both start at 8 o'clock Central. And then we have a Sunday game day if you're stateside, or European game night, which kicks off at 3 p. Central, which is right now 8 o'clock. 6 o'clock British summertime, and then 5 o'clock. Well, 8 o'clock GMT and 9 o'clock British summertime in the evening is our Sunday game day. It's not posted in Halo Unity yet, but I was looking at the calendar while we were getting up together here, and I'm going to be opening up our Thursday game night on the 27th. Up to be another wide open event that anyone who's participating in Halo Unity can come join us. And I'd really like to see a higher turnout. The last game night we opened up to everybody, we only had one person who was not in our group show up for it. So, yeah. Definitely like more turnout.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too, is people make sure you're following us on Twitter, too, because I'm saying following Unifying Halo, because I tweet out every day, if you're too lazy to go to Halo Unity, I tweet out the events for the night anyway, so you can, if you're at least following the Twitter, you'll know what events are being played that night.
And to y'all's credit, this we held our event before you started doing that. So.
Yeah. Well, again, too, people are tired of Reach, and a lot of people don't. Now, all those game nights, too, they're all Reach. They're not other games, too? Wow.
They're all Halo Reach.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people are tired of playing Reach, or tired of Halo. I don't blame them. I'm a little tired of Halo myself. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy lately, so, when I get on to play, it's maybe once a week. So, but again, I love playing with Midland Base. You guys are a lot of fun. I'm going to have to definitely get on your next game night that you open up to everyone again next, because it's always a lot of fun. So definitely sign up with these guys, people. Anything else before we move on to the next person?
Is anybody curious to know what exactly our giant squeaky sheep of doom map and our sucks to be the leader game type is?
I am actually curious to find out what the ship is.
Oh, you had to ask him about the sheep, no.
Yes.
Oh, come on, tell us about the sheep.
I'm only interested if the map has a giant sheep on it.
It does. If you go to our news article in the news feed, or go to our posting in the activity section, there's actually a YouTube video where I flew through the giant squeaky sheep map, and it's set to Carl Orff's Carmina Burana. And there's also a link to my file share and that information where you can download our current map and game type to get a feel of them, to see what it would take to remake it in 4. But no, it really is. It's a giant squeaky sheep that shoots explosives out its eyeballs and lightning bolts out its arse. It literally does shoot explosives out its rear end, too. That's where you spawn, is inside the belly of the beast. And then you go from there. the sucks to be the leader game type we came up with way back in Halo 3. For those who don't know, we're a Halo-only group, and we're a group for those who may not play as well as others. Kind of like if you're a college student, adult professional, and you're real busy and you like to play Halo, but you don't get to play it enough to be super good at it. That's kind of our niche, is to just kind of play for fun without someone screaming at you about going negative, your KD, or my gurge, or my kill, type deal.
Wait a minute. College students are busy?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? I was never busy in college. Maybe because I had an easy major, but all right.
I majored in IT, so I was a little busy.
Okay.
Now, the sucks to be the leader game type, we way back in Halo 3, we had a guy that was very competitive, and I mean, it was that type deal, like, oh my god, learn your curl-outs, and, all that type stuff. And so I made this game type to where if you are the leader or are tied for the lead, it sucks to be you. Your gravity maxes out, your jump height goes down, your speed goes down, you lose your shields, your weapons go down to 10% damage, you turn the color of Griff from Grifball, and we put a nice big red arrow over your head. And you stay like that as long as you're the leader.
Jeez.
It's fun.
I gotta try it. I gotta try that because I've seen it before. I've never gotten to play it though. All right. So I'm actually still a little amazed though that you were able to just pull from your head the time zones for Europe. That was impressive.
+1. That's a +1 right there.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I do work professionally in digital forensics, and you deal with a lot of different time zones, especially with cellular phones and computers. And so you have to be able to know what time the thing is giving you. Like, is it like Unix time? Is it, UTC, GMT, all that good stuff.
So wait, forensics. So you're like CSI.
No, it's nothing like TV.
I know.
Evidence button.
All right, man. Definitely, everyone check out Midland Base because obviously they got a lot of stuff coming our way for Halo. Moving on to our next one, Mauro Fire. You got Ancient Warriors have been posting a lot lately on Unity. Tell us some of the things you guys got going on.
Last posting that we did on Unity it's really our most recent event is for our friends across the pond in the UK and Europe. It was set up by Claude, and it's called Claude's Clan Around, and it's a weekly event that is going to be taking place on Mondays. It's set up for 7:30 p.m. GMT time or 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And it's basically just a bunch of guys having fun. Each week we'll have different game types, different events going on. Mostly custom games on Halo Reach. And then they're actually looking just to have a lot of fun. In fact, one of the awards that they wanted to have in Unity was the most hilarious event or the most hilarious thing that happened during the games. And at the end of their season, which is 10 games, 10 weeks, I should say, they're going to vote on the most hilarious thing that happens during the season, and whoever wins it and is going to get an award. So it's all fun and games. I mean, everybody is welcome to join, but obviously, it was made for the folks around the UK and Europe. And then in addition to that, the other event that we have posted recently is the Asian Warriors Squad Slayer League. It's basically a 5v5 type of league, Slayer only. But the biggest difference is instead of being just for the competitive nature, it's more to kind of welcome Halo 4. So each week, each team plays 2 games on their squad slayer settings. So 75 kills or 15 minutes, whichever is first. And basically each week they will play on a different map and different loadouts. And so, for example, as crazy as it sounds, week 1 was Sword as primary and the Pro Pipe as secondary on Sword base. So it's all for the fan. It's all to, just to enjoy the last bit of time that we have left on Reach and just to, welcome Halo 4.
Awesome. And do you guys want to give away anything about what you guys gonna do when Halo 4 drops, or are you still keeping that hush-hush?
There's a few things that are on the works for Halo 4. There's some training that might be happening soon. A lot of montages that we might be doing in the near future, but most of the stuff is still in the works.
Okay. And I gotta ask, because the banner that you guys submitted for the European activity, who made that? Because that thing was amazing.
I do all the design.
That was you?
The words and everything. Yeah.
That looks freaking amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, check out activities. Check under Ancient Warriors. It's like a skull. It's like a skeleton with a ripped off Union Jack flag. And I was wondering why I had the Union Jack. Now we know it's for Europeans. But dude, that was freaking amazing. I gotta give you props for that.
Thank you.
You might give Grifball Legend a run for his money.
Actually, all the designs that I have done, because I have done that for the awards and for the different type of the little images that I have posted within the events. I'm all new on it. I got Photoshop about 2 months ago, and then I just been using it, and so this is all, technically speaking, new for me.
Oh, gee. Well, I think you're doing pretty well with it then. I mean, you might be getting a lot of requests now for signatures.
Even though the signatures that I have on Unity and a lot of the members that you guys see from Ancient Warriors, I've created them, but they're just they're actually just me taking bits and pieces from either Halo Tracker for the background or just the regular emblems from Waypoint. But I put all those together as well.
Awesome. Well, I mean, that's some fantastic work, so keep it up. And again, those of you interested in Ancient Warriors, remember there is an age restriction, which is
30 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're more towards, as we like to call it, chronological challenge gamers.
Yeah. I'm the young pup in there, so 'cause I'm only 30. But yeah, so remember, you youngsters out there, you're not welcome like Grifball. All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Hurt you.
What?
Said, don't make me hurt you.
Okay.
I don't think you're capable of hurting anyone.
Oh. That's all right. That's good. All right, Dirtybear. How are things going at the Real Forum?
Everything's going good, Same thing.
Well,
pretty much since the last time we talked to you guys.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have added some more. You guys have added a lot more there. I mean,
yeah, we actually have, and we're getting ready to release something that's a big surprise and a big thing in the Halo world and the Call of Duty world and pretty much the gaming world.
I already know what it is.
And so do I.
Well, yeah.
But yes, that is getting released, and we have our Grifball mixer coming up on the 20th.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna school you boys.
We will see, Jules. We will see.
Well, just see. Any other events you guys wanna plug for TXI? 'Cause I'm guessing you're not gonna give much.
That is it right about now.
Because I know you're not gonna give out too much information about what you guys have coming up, but
right now that is it. until the surprise comes out, then we'll have more events coming up.
Could you at least give us a time frame on when you guys are gonna release that?
I've heard personally it's later this month, but it might be sooner. It could be later, depending on how fast everything's getting worked on.
Okay. There is one thing I want you to talk about because I didn't touch on it too much last time we had you guys on here. It's your battle system that you guys have at TXI, which is very unique, and it's different than what we have with the battle deck on Unity. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of Halo Sphere too. Can you give just describe what kind of the battles that you guys have on TXI?
Yeah. Well, basically, let's say, it's a simple battle system. You don't ever have to buy any weapons. You unlock them through your level ups. And basically, it goes by your strength. As much strength as you have, that's how much you can knock out on them. Like right now, we have a grenade, or I have a grenade launcher unlocked. And I can only do like 410 damage to the guy. Because that's the max damage it can possibly do. So it adds a little bit more strategy, I would say, to it.
Mm-hmm.
But then yet again, it could just be button clicking.
Yeah, and you guys have guilds in there too, and you can form.
Yeah, guilds.
Yeah, and of course I've heard the person winning that thing is our old friend Darkstorm.
Yeah, Darkstorm. He's right now at level 326, and the guy below him is at 213.
Wow.
So yeah, he's been clicking. He's been clicking away.
He used to dominate Halo Sphere, now he's dominating that.
Yeah, and he hasn't made a bot yet. Like, you can do a bot, and it has 50,000 health, and I don't know exactly what they do yet, but I guess just throw a little twist in there.
All right, cool. So, yeah, definitely check out their little game they have. It's a lot of fun. If there's some people you really don't like, you can just keep attacking them, but just don't attack me.
Or me.
Yeah, well, I might give an award if you get him, but...
You might get an award if you attack Jules.
Okay, whatever, fine. Come at me, bros. Alright, so TXI is keeping pretty hush-hush about what they got coming up, but trust me on this, it is big for gaming, especially for Halo, so definitely keep an eye on TXI and what they got coming out.
By the way, Jules, you died in battle.
Just now?
Just now. I just killed you.
You ass. Alright, I'll figure something out to get even with you. Alright, Andy.
Yes.
Now, you're not a community leader, but you're very active on Unity. So I want to give you the same opportunity we gave Vendetta last week. You could just talk to us about some things that you would like to see maybe added or changed on Unity that you think would make it better overall for everyone.
Oh, goodness. Well, first off...
Oh, God, she's got a list.
I have a little bit of a mental checklist, but yeah. Unity so far, I don't know. You don't have a Facebook or anything for those of us who don't have Twitter. So any events that are going on, the only real way for me to check what's happening is to check the site. And that's a little bit of a downer.
We really don't have a Facebook?
Not that I've seen.
Well, I mean, okay, I don't do Facebook, so I would not be doing that stuff, but I'm sure there's got to be someone on there that knows Facebook and can set that. That's a very good point. I figured we would have had one, but I'm going to have to talk to someone about that. Okay, go on, down your list.
Hey, you're in charge now, man. You got to get on that.
Shut up.
Other than that, there's not really nothing that really needs to be added or really complained about at all. Everything's set up just fine with the chats and everything at the top, the events, news, all that. It's right where you can see it. Everything's pretty nicely laid out.
All right. Well, definitely, though, the Facebook's a very good suggestion. We got to look at that, and I'll talk to, I'm sure Maddie Buff's on Facebook. He could probably do something with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of us don't have the Twitter thing.
But Twitter's better. Twitter...
Yeah, come on. Why don't you sign up?
Twitter is alien. Whoa. I'm not going there.
Twitter's awesome. I'm actually on Twitter right now.
Yeah.
God. Are you tweeting or whatever?
Kind of.
We're going to have a poll now. Twitter or Facebook?
Facebook.
I don't know. I heard it's going the way. I heard
Everyone
it's.
pretty much has like both these days.
Well, I heard it's going the way of MySpace.
Ugh.
Nah.
I honestly don't use either one. So, I mean, I use Twitter occasionally, and I'm on Facebook occasionally to talk to people, but, I mean,
Yeah.
As of lately, I've been using Twitter a whole lot. So I think I like it better just because you get information a lot quicker than you could on Facebook.
Yeah.
I use it.
Twitter, Facebook, and Google Plus, and I've noticed we've got different ups on each one. Like everybody seems to have their favorite, so you kind of got to use them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a. I think you get a lot more news and celebrity stuff from Twitter.
Facebook is just everyone telling you about what they're eating.
well, I mean, yeah, like, but we,
I'm
you know,
eating a Hot Pocket, LOL.
back on in the staff on there about getting stuff all sort of linked in there and really go anywhere.
All right. Okay, so that's definitely something we gotta look into. So we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about PAX.
Awkward silence.
And we're back. All right. So now we're gonna be talking about obviously PAX Prime took place last weekend. They showed a lot of Halo 4 stuff, and this is where things are gonna get a little interesting, I think. Right off the bat, my first thing is graphics look amazing. I think everyone can agree with that. The graphics for Halo 4 look amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, they do look pretty cool.
Even the sheep agrees.
They're
Ship
okay.
approves.
Squeaky sheep approves.
Wow. And okay, but here's my thing. They ruined Grifball. That's it. I just said it. They ruined Grifball.
Dude, they ruined everything. Don't lie.
Okay, Grifball. I'm not as negative, Legend. I'm not as negative as you.
Hey,
Well, I gotta ask why you guys think. I mean, I'm not a Grifball guy, but I do gotta ask why you guys think that it got ruined.
Okay, I'll go first because I'll say this as plain as I can, and I'm going to beat before Grifball Legend goes off on a tangent here and starts.
2 words. It sucks.
Okay, I'm gonna be a little more descriptive. The game type that they showed looks like a lot of fun. I mean, it looks really fun. It's fast paced, but it's not Grifball. Maybe it looks like rugby, which I know Grifball was originally going to be called Halo Rugby, and maybe this is what the guys at Red vs. Blue really envisioned Grifball to be, but that's not what fucking Grifball is now. Grifball is 4v4, no armor abilities, bludgeoning someone with a goddamn hammer and a sword, and scoring a bomb. It's not fucking throwing bombs down the field like a goddamn Peyton Manning.
That's good for you, buddy.
I know. I just lost it. I lost it. But that's what. It's not pressing the fucking grenade throw bomb, and there goes the bomb again. Looks like a lot of fun, but it's not Grifball.
You
So
don't?
the fact that you're able to drop the bomb or toss the bomb breaks Grifball.
Yeah.
All right. Now that you're done with your rant, I mean, I can try to be like a little bit more, I don't know, technical sounding and maybe more.
Yeah, a little great.
But basically, I think what he's trying to say is just the fact that, I mean, Grifball started off with a very basic, very plain kind of thing, and the whole fun with I mean, especially when it first started, the whole fun with Grifball was coming up with all these cool launches and moves and maneuvers and stuff like that, with just like the very basic stuff that you were given. And I mean, that's the kind of stuff that people have fun with, is being able to be creative with that kind of thing, coming up with their own stuff. And with this new Grifball game type, I mean, first of all, one of my biggest issues with it is the fact that Grifballs explode. They don't do whatever that thing does. So that's my major thing is Grifball's supposed to explode and there's no explosion. Like what the hell? And I mean, yeah, like the whole like passing and throwing thing and all that. I mean, it's sort of cool, but it's not Grifball anymore. I mean, it's a completely different thing. If they're, I mean, it looks like it could be fun, but it's not Grifball. They gotta call it something else because it's not Grifball.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can see.
I mean, I wouldn't have.
Cool thing that hey, hold on. I got one more thing.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Hey, because I want to add a little bit of positiveness to it because I don't want to make it seem all bad because but I mean the one thing that I did see from the gameplay videos that they showed that does look kind of cool that is honestly if they added it into regular Halo 3 Driftball it would be it would actually be kind of cool, which is the whole sword steal thing, like when you stab someone and you steal the ball. That's actually kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool. My thing is, I would not have a problem with this so much if this is if they do like what Reach did. All right, you had two choices in the beginning. You had either vanilla Grifball or Evolved, which let's face it, Evolved was such a piece of crap to begin with as well. They had to change that to Dash, but make it options. Because what it sounds like is that the game type they showed is the default Grifball. We don't know if they're going to have like options where you can play either vanilla or the new type or the other gimmick Grifball game types out there like Blarg Ball and Jetpacks. You know what? If you're going to do that, fine. But at least have an option for just plain old real vanilla Grifball. That's what most competitive Grifballers like me want. They better, at the very, very least, have the ability to create game types and maps for vanilla Grifball. Otherwise, shit will literally hit the fan.
Yeah, and I'm sure, hopefully they will add something like that into it. One can only hope. But I see what you mean, how it's a completely different game. The whole simplicity of it is pretty much gone. It's a more complex, it seems to be more, what's the word? I'm not even sure. You're more involved, and I can see how a lot of people wouldn't really like that when Grifball started out as an incredibly simple game.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea behind Grifball, the whole fun of it is, all you do is, you go out there with your hammer and you smash jerks. That's what it's all about. Smashing jerks with your hammer.
Yeah.
I don't have to be dealing with, people throwing crap and all this other nonsense. And the whole one of the other things that I kind of don't like is the fact that they changed it so that it doesn't reset when the score happens. And I get the whole it sort of makes it more like a real life sport, because obviously in real life when somebody scores a thing or whatever, everything doesn't reset. But that right there is actually probably, at least fundamentally, one of the biggest changes they made to the game right there, because that completely changes like every strategy that has been conceived for Grifball to date. So
what it seems to me is they're trying to take skill out of the game and make it much easier for anyone just to pick it up and be able to win. Because let's face it, if you didn't have good skill, connection, I guess you can argue, and teamwork, you needed teamwork in Halo 3. You pretty much in Halo Reach, you still, to compete in the leagues, you need to know your teammates. You need to have like chemistry with your teams. You need to know who's the tanks, who's the runners, who's all the defenders, yada yada yada. This makes it seem like, Dash was a perfect example. Dash took a lot of skill out of Grifball. Anyone could just barrel roll the damn thing in and score. Doesn't take much. It doesn't take any tanking. It doesn't take any planning. This, it seems like, it just throw the ball around and just try to put it in there. It seems like they're trying to make it less skilled. And in general, that seems like what they're trying to do with all of Halo, is make it a game based less on skill play than what power-ups do you have.
Well, exactly. And honestly, that is, it's really a thing because, it's about a lot of the other games that are out there. One of the reasons, well, there are a few different reasons why, one of the big arguments with, it's the whole Halo versus Call of Duty thing, for example, is, how, everyone's all like, Call of Duty's more popular because because it sells more, because it has it has higher gross, whatnot like that. They put it all in like numbers like that. And the problem with that argument is, well, first of all, it's a multi-platform game, so you can't really base it on that anyway. And secondly, one of the difference, at least when it was Halo 3 and whatever version of Call of Duty was out back then, the major difference is Halo 3, it has a steeper learning curve, basically. You can't just hop in and start mowing people down with grenade launchers and whatnot like that. Whereas where Call of Duty is exactly like that. You can jump into a game of Call of Duty and pick up whatever power up weapon, grenade launcher. Or whatever like that, and just start noob tubing people and you're all set. So, and I think one of the things that it's like what makes sense is that they're trying to bring Halo to at least like closer to that same level where anyone can hop in and play it, so that it will become not necessarily more popular, but sell more.
Yeah. Well, okay, you guys all heard basically me and Grifball Legends rant, so what do you guys think?
Well, I actually like all the changes. I'd like to address a few things first.
Go for it.
I think anybody who's wrapped around the axle about, Armageddon, it's not Halo 3, just put your Halo 3 disc in and play Halo 3. Not every new Halo game can be Halo 3 regurgitated into a new wrapper. I want a new game. If they just repackaged Halo 3, I wouldn't buy it. So I like change. I don't want every successive iteration of the game to be the same thing, because then I'm wasting my money. And I think one thing that you touched on earlier, Jules, a little bit is, maybe this is the way, they initially envisioned the game to be. And, there's really evidence of that in a whole other universe. If you look at Star Trek, the whole reason they have transporters in Star Trek is merely because when they started that show, they had a shoestring budget and they didn't have enough money to build all of the shuttlecraft sets they wanted to make. They could make one shuttlecraft set. And it's like, well, how do we move people around between the Enterprise and the planets? Oh, we'll make this transporter thing. So the only reason why we even have transporters in Star Trek is they couldn't do what they wanted to do at first. Another thing I'd like to kind of expound upon is, new tactical advantages and new weapons don't necessarily break anything or give anybody an advantage. And you can look at real warfare for that. Trench warfare. What was invented to break the deadlock of trench warfare? The tank. Well, what do you have now? Other tanks and anti-tank missiles. The point I'm trying to make there is simply every new weapon or tactic, every new offensive capability that arises, someone will devise a new defensive countermeasure to cancel that out. So I think that even though we can throw the bomb now, even though we can, whack it across the court with our grab hammers like a hockey puck, I think we will find, once we have the game in our hands, that the highly skilled folks, the competitive folks, are going to find countermeasures to that, and you'll see defenses to it, to where it's not like completely broken. So I'm liking the changes.
Yeah, you make a good point. There are defenses for, say, the barrel roll and Grifball dash. But again, if it's not broken, why you're not even fixing it? You're completely changing it. I understand your point. Yeah, you can't keep throwing out the same game every year. Although, hey, Madden does it, and they're making the most money. But yeah, I agree. You put new things in there, but you gotta leave some of the fundamental aspects of the game that made it so popular to begin with in there, and they seem to be trying to get rid of them. Now, I'm not just talking about Grifball. I'm talking about all of Halo. But with Halo, it's like you're trying to change the game completely. It's like adding baseballs to football. or adding baseball bats to football. Let's give these guys baseball bats and let's see what happens now. It's gonna be much more fun to watch. No, it's not. It's not football anymore.
Well, yeah, I mean, like that's actually a good point because I mean, it's. I mean, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, you can't keep throwing the same game out there with with a different cover on it. I mean, that'd be stupid. But the problem, I mean, the Reach. I mean, that's the thing with Reach that made a lot of people upset was that they added in a lot of new stuff that was sort of unpopular or whatever like that. But I mean, one of the things that they didn't really do is change the stuff that already existed, like the stuff that they had from Halo 3 that was brought into Halo Reach. I mean, there were little tweaks here and there, but it was pretty much all still the same stuff. I mean, the problem with with this new one is that I mean they're adding new stuff in, and like obviously depending on who you are, you may or may not be happy about some of the new stuff that they're adding in, but I mean it's a whole different thing to change stuff that that had already that was already there before in the previous game and completely change that. I mean,
it's not really the first time that you see that though. I mean, it's not like Halo 4 is the one that is changing at all. I mean, I can agree with what you guys are saying from Grifball. I mean, I myself don't know that much about Grifball. I haven't played that much Grifball to really see the difference that you guys are talking about. I mean, when I saw the videos, I thought, oh wow, that's cool. You can toss the ball and you can do all these sort of different things. And I'm like, and I even thought like when I first heard about that the ball when you score it doesn't create the explosion and didn't kill you. The first thing that come into my head was, well, that makes sense. I mean, it's supposed to be a sport. Why should you get killed if you scored and reset all over again? But that was my first thought. And again, mind you, this is from a person who has played maybe, I don't know, 50 games of Grifball, maybe a little bit more, but I have no clue what to do with a hammer to save my life. And I'm a good Halo player. I have no clue how in the hell you guys do the things that you guys do with the hammer. Back in Halo 3, no way. Back in Halo Reach, no way. I don't understand it. So when I first saw it, I was like, that seems cool. But I can also empathize with you guys are saying, because the biggest example that I have on transition between Halo 3 and Halo Reach was Rocket Race. And I know that there's not many people out there anymore who even know what Rocket Race is or like Rocket Race. But I used to play Rocket Race on Halo 3 a whole lot. In fact, I still play it. I have a small group, a different group outside of the Ancient Warriors that I do play Rocket Race with, and we only or exclusively play it on Halo 3 because it's impossible to do it on Reach, because of the physics, because the vehicles don't behave nowhere near to what they behave on Halo 3.
No, not at all.
And the rockets don't shoot the same way. They don't shoot as fast as they used to shoot. Now gravity is involved on the missile itself, so it actually falls. So even if you aiming at something, you have to account to the fact that the missile itself, that the rocket is actually falling as well. So it just brings a whole new change, and the people who really are hardcore rocket races just don't do Reach anymore because it sucks, because it totally absolutely sucks. So I can totally understand how you guys can see that. And one of the things that I've been looking through packs and all the different videos is to see if there is any similarities to what Halo 3 or how Halo 3 was as far as like physics, or maybe how the vehicles are driven and stuff like that. So I can totally understand what you guys are saying, and I can be sympathetic about having a vanilla Grifball. I mean, it's all good, that you bring something new and bring maybe people who never knew about Halo to bring it over because they have all this cool new game type or whatever. So I can understand that, it's cool, but I can also feel you when you guys mean that you want to have a more traditional vanilla setting of what you guys used to love, what you guys are good at. So I can get that. I understand.
Well, you bring up something that really touches something. You said it makes sense that Griff doesn't explode when he scores. Now,
that was the first thing that I thought when I saw the video. It's like, doesn't it make sense that the damn thing doesn't explode and kill you and your whole entire team right there just to start all over? To me, it didn't make sense. In addition to the fact, because if it kills you, whatever, I don't know. I mean, this is probably more towards the people who like to boost kills and so forth and so on. But even with that, it's like, oh, I had like, nice 5 kills with the bomb or with the sword or whatever else, and everything just gets reset and you die on top of all of that just because you score. To me, it didn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't make sense, but here's the thing. Grifball Legend and I know have seen it. I don't know about the three of you who've seen the original Red vs. Blue Grifball video that
I've seen it.
that they released.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That they released.
I might have seen it.
That they released before the actual game was made. I mean, it was a joke. The whole point of it was to kill fucking Griff.
The one that it was the video that they did to advertise the heroic map pack.
Yeah. The whole point was to fucking kill Griff. So even if you don't kill him by smashing him with the ball, he dies in the explosion. That's the point of Grifball. Griff must die. So the whole he doesn't explode, that's a good thing. That doesn't make sense. Griff is supposed to die no matter what.
I see that for example, and that's what I'm saying. To somebody who doesn't know the history of Grifball, he's not gonna know that. And I personally didn't. I mean, I've seen the video, but I obviously attention. It's just a video to me. It's just Red versus Blue. So I don't know the history behind it. So that's why I'm like, well, why would it make sense that you died? Now that you explain, what you're explaining, then now I can be, okay, well, if that's the history behind it, then okay, I can see why he's supposed to die.
And plus, I mean, I don't like it not resetting. I mean, Grifball Legend said, well, that's kind of good. Well, no, they reset in sports. They reset in football. You score in football, you have a kickoff. There's resetting in sports, and there should be a reset in Grifball. We've done game types where there is no resetting, and yeah, it's crazy as hell, but I mean, then you start getting into where people will just stand. They know they can't defend it, so they'll just stand by the spawn and wait for the ball to come and try to get a quick score. Yeah, that's part of strategy too, but to me, you gotta have the reset. Dirtybear, you've been pretty quiet about this. What are your thoughts?
Personally, I know some people are going to be mad at me for saying this, but, in a way, they're trying to noob the game up. They're trying to make it user-friendly. To me, leave Grifball how it was in Reach and Halo 3. Just don't even bother with the ball throwing or the auto pickup or the no respawn. It's just, they're trying to do too much.
Well, and while I got you guys all here, I mean, specializations, what are your thoughts on those? We talked about that last episode. What are your guys' thoughts on those specialization classes? Start with okay, go ahead, Andy. What did you say?
I haven't really looked into them too much as I'm trying to really not spoil the game for that first time experience. But what I've heard and what I've seen, the little bit that I've seen, I'm not really too thrilled. It kind of brings a little bit of air of Call of Duty into it, which I've heard a lot of people say, and I'm not a big Call of Duty fan.
Well, okay. How about you, Dirty?
I haven't really read up on it or watched any videos, and that's what I'm actually doing now. But to me, so far as what I've read, it actually seems pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big Call of Duty player, like I've always been, and Halo's just been recently new to me. But it will definitely, give it a different feel.
Oh yeah.
All right, Mauro, how about you?
I'm somewhat in don't knock until you'll try it type of feeling now.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, I really don't know that much of it. I mean, I have read, everything that has come out about Halo 4. But I still get the feeling that, before I go and say, oh, it's horrible, oh, it's breaking in, I want to try it for myself. I want to be able to have, as much information as I can have before I can say, oh no, yeah, this is gonna break it. The one thing though that I'm somewhat concerned is on the pre-order bonus.
Okay, hold that thought. Kegler, what about you?
I think the specializations are going to help increase teamwork because, you're going to have somebody that's going to be able to track down the last person that killed them. Mm-hmm. You're going to have a guy that can tell you where the power weapons are about to drop. You're going to have a guy that, if he's got an ordnance drop coming and he doesn't like his first 3 choices, he can tell it, give me another 3 choices. You can have a guy that can help, your vehicular abilities. So, in other words, it kind of splits it up to where instead of just being a jack of all trades and a master of none, you can specialize in something and be an expert at it.
Hey, I'm a specialized meat shield.
Yeah. So I think it's going to encourage teamwork because it's going to be like, well, we need this guy that can do this and this guy that can do this. And I think it'll help with the teamwork and help end maybe some of the lone wolf mentality of some folks.
Well, okay, yeah, those are excellent points, but that's if you run with like the same people all the time. What if you just go by yourself into matchmaking and you go into a team with everyone with say wet work?
Well, then you're just host, but that's one reason why. That's one reason why I don't go into matchmaking unless I'm with my group at all anymore. Mm-hmm. Is because how some of those randoms have gotten out there, unless it's to play in free for all or firefight. So
yeah, okay. Now, again, my opinion, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think I like Mauro, wait and see. I don't think it can change. I don't think it's gonna play that big of a deal. But I think what Mauro was getting at. My big problem with this is, well, if you buy the limited edition for about $100, you get them all right away. If you get the regular, you get 2. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be that big a deal because you got to figure it's not just going to be a handful of people getting those all those feature sets up front. It's going to be a lot of people. Lots of people are going to have it. So even if you go into matchmaking, with all the randoms, I mean, the chances are the balance is going to balance out. You're going to have about the same number of people with it and without it on both sides. And not to mention, just because you have it early doesn't going to make you good at it or make it where it's going to give you an advantage.
But I don't think that that's the point, though. I mean. Yeah, I mean, what is the chances that, if for whatever reason you happen to go by yourself into matchmaking and all of your team only bought the regular edition and all their team, all of them have limited edition and it's just going to be a crapshoot from the start with it. Yeah, I can get that, but I don't think that necessarily is the point. I think the point is the fact that why have an unbalance to begin with? Why give something that it can possibly be exploited towards the benefit of a specific set of people because you may or may not be able to buy, something that is more expensive than everybody else. I mean, I don't think it's the point of whether or not it's first within the game. It's the fact that you're giving the chance to somebody else to have an advantage over everybody else. That's where the fairness just doesn't seem to be fair, so to speak. I mean, that's the whole deal. It's like you get Wet Work and Pioneer if you buy the regular one, but you get 8 other ones. If you buy the limited edition, that is the one thing that I'm like really iffy about, or where it kind of doesn't feel the right way. I mean, if it was just for like just for looks, you get more skins or different colors, hell, even different armor, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't have no problem in this world if you pay for what you buy. Like when you buy the console, you get the POTUS armor or whatever. That's all fine and cool. I don't have no problem because it doesn't affect the game specifically, only the way you look. But it doesn't affect you how you play with it. But when it affects the way you play, that's when it's iffy. When it's really not fair.
We got to remember that 343 isn't a governmental agency that's out to like keep the peace or make sure everything's fair. They're a for-profit company. So,
well,
I mean,
they're
there is, the almighty dollar. How can we get people to fork over more cash?
And see, that's one of the that's actually a really good point. I mean, I didn't even think about that until you brought that up, which is the fact that until now, I mean, every pretty much except for Halo 3 onward, they all had special edition and legendary edition, and with each one of the with each Halo. If you get obviously you get extra stuff with the the limited edition and the legendary edition, but the thing about them is that it's always been either like an actual physical cool thing that you get like with Halo 3 you got the helmet, Reach you got the statue and whatnot like that, and then there's been in-game stuff too, but I mean it's always aesthetic stuff, it's always with something that makes you like look cooler, different kinds of armor and whatnot like that. But it's never been anything, any sort of abilities, anything that actually changes the game in your favor for spending more money. And I mean that's I actually have that's actually I don't mean that's sort of not really cool, but another point was brought up, which is the fact that unlike Bungie, Bungie makes the game to be fun, whereas, now that Microsoft's in charge, well, it's about money, so.
Yeah. Yeah, let's remember, this is a Microsoft company now, so I'm sure they don't really, I'm not going to say they're greedy assholes, but they do, 343 Waypoint, they do a lot for the fans still. Is it Bungie, though? No.
That's the thing. 3-4, from what I know, the actual people at 343, it's comprised of, there's former Bungie people there, and, a lot of them were handpicked by 343, from the community. A really good example is, I can't think of her name off the top of my head. The one that Hottie McBloggy,
BS Angel.
Yeah, BS Angel. People like that who were picked from the community, that were just regular. They're just big Halo fans that were chosen to work for 343 because because of their skills or whatever, and because they're big Halo fans.
Yeah.
And if that's as far as it went, honestly, I think Halo 4 would have turned out at least from what we've seen, probably it looks bad. We don't know for sure yet because obviously it hasn't come out yet. But for those of us who do think it looks bad, and if it does turn out to be as bad as it looks, honestly, I can't really think that I can't put all the blame on the guys that work at 343 because in the end they do answer to Microsoft. So they do Microsoft does have some say in what happens since they are actually owned by them and whatnot like that. So
yeah, well, and like you said, in the end, it's right now a wait and see game. We can make all the predictions and bitch and moan and say how great it's gonna be all we want, but right now we don't know anything. We just know what we saw, and we're just gonna have to wait. And we still got another basically 2 months to wait. So okay,
I will tell you the exact time right now.
Oh my God! Are you using
58 days, 1 hour, 33 minutes, 45 seconds.
Is that Firestream's Halo 4 countdown?
No, it's on my phone.
Ah, well, yeah. Is it the app that Firestream made?
I don't know.
If it's a Halo 4 countdown app, that's his app.
It's probably his, yeah.
The Halo 4 countdown widget.
Yep, that's his.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Firestream, I better make a mention of this. Be sure to check out his blog. Firestream.net. He's been posting. He's been in an artistic mood lately, so he's posting a lot of Halo 4 desktops and wallpapers. So be sure to check that out. We've been posting it on Unity as well, and he's right now working with an old Halo charts
Can't
staff.
wait for the app.
Hmm.
Can't wait for the app.
Yeah.
Show the picture of the app for the iPhone.
Yeah, he's working.
The new.
He's working on that too. He's working on an app for Halo
Yeah,
Unity.
Unity Mobile. Look
Yeah.
forward to it.
I honestly cannot wait for it because I cannot stand the side on my phone when I check it. It's pain to use.
Let's just hope Apple doesn't pull a prick move and reject his app. Like they did it before with Halo Sphere 2. They rejected his app for that. And they did that recently with his, because he's got another website for, funny too, it's for RPGs based on, from Apple. So basically it's promoting RPGs that you can download on iOS platform, and they rejected that. So hopefully they don't pull, I mean, it was basically an app that would make more money for Apple, and they rejected it, so.
I'm kind of curious about why they would have rejected the Halo Sphere 2 one. I mean, I guess I can kind of get it. I mean, it might just be because it's sort of, since it's aimed at, like a really small number of people. So
Not really. I mean, no. They just said it was too much, just like a website.
Well, I mean that is another thing that comes into play with the apps is that, they sort of, they're meant to be, apps, not just, a website built into an app.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see. Hopefully that gets approved when he finishes it.
If it's anything like the Halo Charts mobile app, it should be, so.
And I think that's why Halo Charts mobile app was always approved, was because it did a lot of stat stuff, so. All right, we're going to start wrapping this up. Really quickly, I got a quick contest for you all. Again, the opening was from a band called Mini Bosses. You can check them out on minibosses.com. Buy their music, download it, listen to it, whatever you want. The question is, though, if you can guess what classic NES song was used in the opening from that the band did, I got a prize for you. You got to be the first one correct to tweet at Halo Unity Media. So, sorry, Andy, those of you without Twitter, but whatever.
Thanks.
So,
You can tell me, and I can tweet at them, and then I win, and then you get a cut.
a cut. Well, you can't divide this prize up, so I'm not gonna say what the prize is, but it's nice. All right, so parting words. Kegler, you got anything?
Join us on our game night event that I'm going to post probably sometime tomorrow. We'll have it Thursday the 27th at 7 p.m. U.S. Central, and check out our Halo 4 Forge contest there on Halo Unity. We need a new Sucks to be the Leader game type and Squeaky Sheep of Doom map.
Wow. Mauro?
Just if you're interested in to join any of our events, visit on our main website, which is right now housed at budget.net/fanclub/351375.
Or go to Unity and there's a direct link there. So.
That too.
All right, Dirty.
Join us on our TRF and National Grifball Association Mixer. So Thursday, September 20th, 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 to 8 Central, 5 to 6 Western, and join the real forums. Come hang out with us.
Yes, a lot of fun there.
Lot of fun.
Yeah. Andy?
I'll see you guys on the chat, and I like ponies.
Me too.
Awesome.
Me too.
Awesome.
All right, and dare I say, Grifball Legend.
Always last, man.
Well, okay. Well, whatever. You were good today, so I'm proud of you.
Don't make me start. All right.
All right.
No, but seriously, look forward to 5 new items this week. So there's something for you, all you guys that like items and whatnot. Whoa.
Oh God, no.
And
We got exit music now?
and also look forward to hopefully having some forgeable items soon. So
Yes, and remember, if you need a signature done, go to Grifball Legend. And Mauro now.
And the real forums. Don't forget us.
Oh, God, yeah. There is some really amazing signatures there. A lot of which, though, you can't post on Unity just because, we try to keep things a little PG, but there's some very adult-themed excellent signatures there, so my wife's not too happy when I look at that website sometimes.
Me neither. But hey.
Wow. Okay. But at least we weren't talking about any Ren and Stimpy porn this time. So.
Yeah. Don't even start with that, Jules. Seriously.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I want to know how many people actually went to look it up after last podcast. But whatever. All right. So that's it for us. Be sure to check around the forums. We're posting a lot of updates as we get closer to Halo 4. Just keep an eye out, because I don't know if it'll be between this podcast or next podcast, but we're going to make our announcement soon about how to win a limited edition of Halo 4. So, till then, good gaming.